Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
I'm flying solo today. Not really flying as much as I am sitting solo, not as in Han Solo, as in alone. Not to be confused with the brand of cups. I don't even have a cup or a mug sitting in front of me. Not because I don't like to drink while I'm doing these live broadcasts, just because I forgot. In fact, I was so wrapped up in reading today's news, staging what is about to be the LockerGnome Daily Report live here on YouTube, as we do every weekday at about 3 p.m. Pacific. I just forgot. I got so wrapped up. You guys mean that much to me. Did you realize that? So thank you for paying attention. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling people that we're streaming live. In fact, that's what I'm about to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and tell the 74,371 people who've decided to subscribe to me on Facebook. We grew over 2,000 people over the weekend. It's insane. I didn't even realize 2,000 people were on Facebook. Actually, I did realize that. I'm trying to actually cut down on the amount of friends that I have on Facebook. I get so many requests, and I don't know half of them. So I don't add really a lot of people as friends. I'm going to go ahead and tweet it out as well. I'm more likely to follow you on Twitter than I am to subscribe to you on Facebook for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe one day when these social networks and people I'm connected to on these social networks easier to manage, then I might consider following more people. But I appreciate you following me. I really do. Ed asks if I'm going to talk about my new car. No, I'm not going to talk about my new car today. I did get a new car, and I posted a part of that new car over the weekend to my my Instagram account. Let me go ahead. And you saw that probably on Google Plus and Facebook and Twitter as well. You got to see this. You're going to love it. The geekiest thing that I think I've ever had in an automobile, and it's built right into my car. Can you see that? See, I don't know if that's going to be out of focus or not. It's a little heads-up display. It's built in to my car. So basically, the speed is projected onto my windshield. And only I can see it. Only the driver can see it. So it's not built into the windshield. I will be doing a full-on review of my car as soon as I get used to it. The nuances, the numbers, things that are new to me. Maybe not new to a lot of you. But stay tuned for that review. It may be posted over one of these weekends, since it would be a separate part of the LockerGnome Daily Report. I also got a text from my wife here, who could not be with us. Oh, apparently she's busy. She's too busy for the LockerGnome Daily Report. That's okay. I'm glad that you're not busy, and she's probably going to watch it later. If not, not much I can do about it. She's just not going to watch it. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. Before I forget, I got to like this video, if only because that's the easiest way to let people know on Google Plus that we are streaming live, because you press the G+1 button. And I'm saying we have a cure for the Mondays. That's right. The LockerGnome Daily Report, what you're watching right now, can help you cure that feeling of loneliness. I'm a real human being. I'm here to connect with you. And hopefully you will be here for the duration of this particular broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining me back here. Scottish Tech Kid, to be specific. 98. Not exactly sure what happened to the other 97 there. Ben Tar, Daniel Bushwork, C. Condon, Ed, Right Noob. We also have Matt Guru 15 and Ben Jammin, as well as JR89, Kyle _K. And that's, I think if I have a kid, I'm going to have his or her middle name be _. Wouldn't that be cool? To have a kid named, what would my Cosmo _Pirillo. Yeah, I'd name my kid Cosmo. You got a problem with that? Well, aren't you glad you're not my kid? We also have, Bridget there in Colorado Geek. There's only one of them, apparently, and he's here. I can't believe it. Quite a few geeks out there. And thank you, everybody, for joining me here on YouTube. Inbalance by Design, Soul Spline, One Radical Dude, Andrew Butler, 2011, Jarrett Boffman. I didn't mean to call you Janet, Jarrett. That was a visual typo. Your name was spelled just fine there on YouTube. Family8626. We also have Con Artiste, Lego Star Wars Club 9876, Zixify. I'm not exactly sure how to say that username there on YouTube. These are your shout-outs today. Bucket Room? Okay, I guess Bucket Room. Solizos. You guys, I'm probably saying your usernames. You have no idea if it's you or not. We also have N. Holmes 333, King Julian F, The Antique Tractor, and at least 138 people watching so soon. So thank you for joining us during the live broadcast. Going to go ahead and talk about today's posts. I have a handful of them posted to LockerGnome.com. If you've not yet subscribed to the LockerGnome email newsletter, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. Personal invite? Fine. Subscribe. There's your personal invite. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you please subscribe? Oh, you want me to say your name? Would you? Insert name here. Please subscribe to the LockerGnome email newsletter. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Insert name here. Up on the the dais today, the virtual dais of content, we have Can Technology Improve Us? How to take OS X style screenshots in Windows with Greenshot, utility you may not have known about before. New Google Chrome OS, admission of a mistake. Noise is good. No, really, noise can be useful. That's the name of the article there, the story we posted to LockerGnome. And 5 things to do before starting your Kickstarter project. And there are a few Kickstarter projects being kicked around. I've considered doing a Kickstarter project. It just takes time and dedication and an understanding of what people want, what people are willing to pay for, and really time to massage it. I've been approached by a few people to do Kickstarter projects with them. I may. I thought about doing Gnome Decks, my annual conference, as a Kickstarter project, saying I'm not going to do it unless we have a certain level of commitment from Kickstarter folks. And if they don't come through, then I'm just not going to do it. And I'd even put little sponsorship levels in there and attendee levels and all that stuff. It would be interesting to see if that would happen. I may eventually do something. I don't know. But I'd hate to do it only to not get funded, because then that would be bad. And it would make me sad. But you didn't make me sad. I appreciate it. Even though there's 100 of you that aren't really pressing the like button right now, we've got 169 people watching, and only 64 of you have pressed that like button. So 100 of you, get on the ball. Look at the live page, like this page where right now I'm making this funny little smirk there. It's got to look like that. That page, the video page itself with comments streaming on the side and the description with the links there, that's where you got to go, because that's where the like button is. I have to do this like every day to explain to people that's where you go. If you're looking at this video on any other page, you're okay. Thank you for watching, but just take it a step further. How do you get there? You click the title for this video. Actually, if you hover over the video, a title might pop up. You click the title. Of course, if it's playing, you may not be able to click that title. I don't really know how to do it otherwise. There's no real way to do it. But thank you. All right, let's go ahead and talk about how technology can improve us, if it can improve us. You guys ready? Here we go. First video of the day. Gotta remember not to tap that thing. Tap the button, because it makes a clicking sound, and you guys hear the... And you hear the fan as if an airplane's taking off here in a couple moments. Can technology improve us? Yeah. I'm not yawning because I'm bored. I'm not bored. I haven't even started. And I pray to God I didn't make you yawn there. I probably did. That's what happens when you yawn. Other people yawn too. It's hilarious. You are surrounded by technology. Whether you knew it or not, everywhere you go, there's technology influencing your life. Whether it's staring you in the face, or maybe it's just pervasive in the sense that it's in the air. Because, those wireless signals gotta go somewhere, right? Could be bouncing right off you. Could be going right through you. We've got a good story as posted to LockerGnome.com. Sorry, I'm thinking of the outdoors right now. I have allergies. Talk about, maybe I am allergic to wireless signals. Story posted, can technology improve us? And there's one sentence in this article I wanted to call your attention to. I use computers so much as to wonder if it's not the computer using me instead. Have you ever felt that way? Like you weren't in control? There were times when I was growing up that we had hardware around, not a lot of software, really. And the hardware was just impossible to use. Remember the flashing 12 o'clock on the VCR? Okay, maybe I'm the only one. Hope I'm not the only one. That would mean I have an incredibly young audience, which isn't a bad thing. Just you might not remember what a VCR was. Some people still use VCRs. Technology, really forced you to figure out how to use it. And it wasn't intuitive. And we've accelerated to the point where now if hardware or software isn't intuitive, we tend to look elsewhere. My patience level is decreased to like nothing. If I can't figure something out in 2 minutes, unless I really need to, I'm not going to pick up an instruction manual. I'm just not going to do that. In fact, I had to do that, and it was frustrating because I just got a new car, and there was a feature that I didn't quite understand, but I wanted to understand it because I knew it could benefit me if I did understand it. I look it up in the instruction manual, and it didn't tell me anything. It said, here's what it is, and you can either turn it on or off. Like, great, but what does it do? Why is it relevant? And it really upset me. So I turned to the internet, my old pal, the internet, always on, always available, 24/7. And I said, okay, what the hell is this thing? And then I stumbled into a group of forums where people were explaining what it was and why it was relevant. So people helped me figure out technology because the technology wasn't intuitive enough in the car. And the instruction manual, the official instruction manual, kind of sucked. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I ever read an instruction manual that worked well. Then again, very rarely do I use technology over a long period of time, despite how much I paid for it, if it isn't useful, if it's not intuitive, if I don't feel like it's a hurdle to get through or get over before I can actually see the benefit of using the technology. I've got a scanner here in my home office. And stop me if you hear these stories before or if it's resonating. You probably have similar stories. Sometimes I need to scan in a document, but it's easier and quicker for me to scan the document using a smartphone and a dedicated application than it is for me to load it up, the single piece of paper, into the scanner, pressing a button, and sitting at my desktop and doing all the processing. It's just so much easier to do it this way. Tick, 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 tick. That's it. Versus scanning in there, you can open up the desktop thing, wait for the scanner to warm up, press the button, and because the software kind of sucks, I have to be able to jump through a couple of hoops in order for it to work right, and I always opt for the path of least resistance when it comes to technology. So, can technology, if it's not usable, actually improve us? That's a question being posed by our guest blogger there in the story, as we've linked in this video's description. Indeed. Indeed. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Gonna go with another video. You guys ready? We're gonna talk about some screenshots. Okay, everybody, take a screenshot. Did you get it? Now, where did that screenshot go? Depending on which operating system you're using, it went one place or another. You could have used a mobile device to take a screenshot if your operating system supports that feature. It's interesting when I ask someone to take a screenshot for me because I'm trying to get them to explain what it is that they're seeing on their screen, and the easiest way to get that is a screenshot. And so frequently, someone will take a screenshot, and for some reason or another, they'll put it into a Word document and then send me the document. You don't need to do that, folks. But I use Windows. There's really no other way of doing it. Because when you use the print screen feature inside of Windows, print screen key, or potentially the control print screen key, it will take a screenshot and then place it onto your Windows clipboard, which you can then paste into, yes, a document, or into a new graphic file in Microsoft Paint, which is installed with every version of Windows that's out there, and then save the file as a graphic, and then you can email it off. It's cleaner, easier, simple. But let's say you're looking for more screenshot functionality. Maybe, just maybe, you use Windows. Okay, that's good. But you look at the way screenshots can be taken on OS X, and you say, gosh, I wish I could do that. I wish I had more keyboard shortcut functionality built into Windows. I need that. If you want to take OS X style screenshots in Windows, you can do it. congratulations. I'm here to give you the news. We've linked more information for the Greenshot program right here in the video's description. That's how you can take OS X style screenshots on Windows. You don't need a switch. Who would tell you to switch? You're crazy. You can live inside of Windows and still get so much more functionality out of the operating system by using software specific to your needs. So let's say once you take a screenshot, you automatically want to open it in an image editor. You can put a check mark in a box, okay? Let's say you want to send that screenshot automatically to a printer. You can toggle that as well. Let's say you want to email it. Fine, you can do that. You want to save it directly, like the way it happens on OS X, you can do that as well. So in many cases, this software is going to allow all you Windows users to do this to all the Mac users. Neater, 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 neater. Check it out. It's pretty neat. There you go. It's fun. Now, speaking of fun, let's talk about Google Chrome, shall we? Despite what some people would have you believe, I don't generally have a problem with many companies out there. Just because I don't happen to use every single one of Microsoft's products doesn't mean that I hate Microsoft. Just because I don't use every one of Apple's products doesn't mean that I hate Apple. Just because I don't use every one of Google's products doesn't mean that I hate Google. Some false logic that some people have in their minds because they want to cram me into a box where their idea of me is. But I don't live inside the mental construct you've provided for me. I am myself. And as such, I can make my own choices. And newsflash, you can make your own choices too. If you see a product or service that you want to use, go for it. Nothing's stopping you. You're free to make your own decisions. Now, some people wanted to buy those things called Chromebooks. Google had put together these laptops running their own operating system, a web-based operating system, or largely web-based. Everything lives in the cloud. And they designed it originally with one purpose. You would live inside the web browser. You don't need Windows. You don't need separate this, that, or the other thing. Let's move that paradigm forward. What do you need in an operating system? All you need is a web browser, and then we'll just run everything through the web browser. Well, they kind of backtracked on that. In case you didn't notice, Google Chrome's OS, or I should say the Google Chrome OS, or Google's Chrome OS. I had to place the apostrophe in the appropriate position there. They kind of recanted. The new version is more Windows-esque. So you've got little taskbar icons. You've got windows that can be moved and dragged around rather than this single window, which is less of a window and it's just more of a browser interface. It's available right now. So now you have the ability, a better ability to access files in folders. So it's becoming more traditional in the way that we think of operating systems. So why is Google doing this? Well, I think they're setting the stage. And many people are going to disagree with me here, and they're more than welcome to. If you haven't been watching what Google's been doing with Chrome, and just FYI, you know it, you've seen it before, I use Google Chrome. It's my favorite web browser for any operating system. I live I live on the dev channel for Google Chrome. Here, look, I can prove it. Let me go into Google Chrome. I've got it open right now. See, Google Chrome is up to date. Right now they're up to version 20, and I got all the tabs open. I love Google Chrome. It is honestly the browser to beat, and to tell you the truth, I never liked Firefox. So what's interesting is the features that they're building into the Google Chrome Foundation, or Chromium, which enable native client functionality, executing code that's out there on the web as if it was a native or natively compiled binary on a local machine. And they're also including touch-based or gesture modifications to Chrome's foundation. So why would Google be doing this? Native client touch functionality. Now let's add that foundation, as well as others, to Google possibly opening up a store for tablets this summer. Now here's the question. What operating system will those tablets from Google run? Now many of you would say, oh, it's going to be Android. You sure about that? Android tablets haven't done well, even though I'm sure thousands have been purchased, maybe even millions. I know millions have certainly shipped. But Google's having to do this because, generally speaking, they've kind of been a failure. Samsung's making a lot of money with their hardware because they got so many devices, and not just tablets, but also smartphones as well. And Android runs well, or at least well enough. Chromebooks haven't taken off, probably because they're a bit overpriced for what you get. I would have hoped that Google could move that, price point down a bit. Interesting idea, certainly, an operating system that needs an internet connection to run, where everything runs remotely and things can be synchronized across sessions. But I would speculate, and I have no insider information, I would speculate that if Google launches a tablet this summer, that tablet will not run Android, but it'll run Google's Chrome OS. They've got the features and functionality baked in. They're letting all the other manufacturers take the Android ball and run with it. Why not build something unique that only Google can build with the Google Chrome OS, the way that Google wants to build it? Oh, they could do the same thing with Android. Yes, they could. But what's to say that Google isn't possibly going to eventually merge Android and Chrome OS? What do we need on a tablet computer? Apps. And a web browser. But apps. And that's kind of what they're putting together with the native client functionality in Google Chrome, or at least the foundation in Chromium. I honestly think that if Google ships a tablet this summer, it won't run Android. You can agree or disagree. Time will prove me right or wrong. It's just a guess. It's a wild guess. Why would they be building in touch functionality to Chromium? Why? Ask yourself that. Why? Where else are touch computers available where Google Chrome is also available? Windows. Yes, you could on Windows. Certainly, it's a big part of the market. But would they really need to build that kind of functionality in just for Windows? Why? Ask yourself that. So, is the new Google Chrome OS, in going to this windowed environment, is this an admission of a mistake, or just realizing that they needed to grow to meet the needs of the marketplace? I would say that Chromebooks would have been wildly successful if they came in at a much lower price point. Just like Amazon's Kindle Fire was wildly successful, is wildly successful, not because it's affordable, but because Amazon wraps all its other services around it. I think Google's finally getting the hint. Experience is a big deal. So, there's some discussion points. Any other Chromebook users out there? Take a look at the story we've posted there on LockerGnome, as we linked in the video's description. I'll certainly be interested in watching, and yeah, to tell you the truth, depending on price, I would consider buying, just like I said, I would possibly buy a Chromebook if the price was right. I'd consider buying a Chrome OS-driven tablet. Absolutely. Mark my words. But again, if the price is right. Noise is good. No, really. Noise can be good. Noise, interesting. Noise. I'm not exactly sure. Different types of noise. There's an article here. We've posted a LockerGnome. It's a bit confusing. Hang on just a second. Noise. I'm reading this. Actually, I should probably read it to you. It's interesting. Some of my best ideas for new postings come from reading my colleagues' LockerGnome postings. I'm actually reading from the article that we've linked to in the video's description. Noise is good. No, really. Noise can be very useful. In particular, Ron recently posted a piece about how to tell if a photo has been altered. Since I have spent a lot of time restoring damaged photos and even had some of my own work published, detecting what someone else has done to photos has always been a puzzle. How do you decide if a photo is pristine? Once you develop some competence with Photoshop or GIMP, you start to look at other people's photos a little differently. Sometimes you only have a nagging feeling that something's not quite right. But how can you tell for sure? One surprising answer is to consider the noise in an image. Noise is the random fluctuations that, in a good image, are small enough that you don't really notice them. But noise is always present. Usually those images, and this is my own words, not reading directly from the paragraph, noise is usually present in images that are shot with low light. Some images shot on the iPhone, people say, gosh, there's a lot of noise there. Yeah, but at least the photo came out clear. Colors weren't, terribly washed out, and the lines were crisp. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of noise inside my photos, but I'm not going to start carrying around a massive DSLR when 99% of the time the lens on my smartphone or your smartphone will do. And it seems, quite like an interesting topic of conversation. There are many ways to detect simple changes. There are several methods that rely on inherent noise in an image. So, there are some people who are inclined to wipe all noise out of an image, but when you do that, it kind of gives it a watercolored or painted look. If you've ever used the noise removal feature of any particular software, and you'll know it's noise because it kind of looks grainy, right? It's noise. One method is to introduce a slight bit of uniform noise to copy of an image or to a copy of the image and then subtract the doctored image from the original. So if you're trying to cover up your tracks because you've doctored an image, it may be easy to see because the noise isn't uniform. You can always add noise again. There's usually a noise add filter. There's a little tip for you on kind of how to cover your tracks when it comes to doctoring a photo. Really the other side of what we had presented just last week there on LockerGnome.com. There's also a tutorial that we linked to in the Scientific American article that we had talked about, talked about original parts and modified parts. You can easily cover your tracks, but you got to know what you're doing. There was a report last week where a hacker was bragging by taking a photo of his message in front of his girlfriend's breasts, which were partially exposed. But he forgot to strip the geotag from the image that he took with his smartphone, and so authorities were able to get a hold of him. So, yes, guy was smart. Just got outsmarted by technology. Sometimes you're your own worst enemy and you don't even realize it. So if you've looked or been looking to doctor an image to make it look like it wasn't doctored, try adding a bit of noise and then subtracting the original image from what you had originally added noise to. And you could come up with an image that looks like it wasn't doctored. Give it a shot. And not to say that you should be doctoring images. I mean, you could easily replace the head of me with the head of anybody right now. Who would I be? Joan Rivers? Hugh Jackman? Anybody else? Crazy. 5 things to do before starting a Kickstarter project. When Kickstarter first launched, I wanted to start something. I wanted to kickstart something. I really did, but then I had to narrow it down. What could I kickstart? What do people really want? I thought about starting a Kickstarter project for GnomeDex, the conference that I ran for about 10 years, and thought, how would I do that, right? I could set up different levels and say, hey, I'm going to produce another GnomeDex conference, but only if I reach a certain level of commitment. If we reach this much money, we'll be able to produce the conference. And I'd set the bar and let people kind of buy into the idea of, possibly doing GnomeDex as a conference again. Because so many people said, why don't you do it again? I don't know exactly how that would work. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to do a conference on Kickstarter before, but I thought about it. I've been approached by individuals to see if I wanted to do a Kickstarter project with them. It takes a lot of time to do Kickstarter projects the right way. You need so many elements and really expertise on hand to be able to pull off a successful Kickstarter project. And I've seen so many great ideas just kind of fall flat. I've Kickstarted a few ideas. I guess funded or partially funded ideas that just didn't get fully funded because not enough people believed in the idea that was put forth. And that, I think, is the thing that's keeping me back or holding me back from actually trying a Kickstarter project on my own. I'd hate to do it only to not be able to see it through, as in want to see a successful project. That would that would really upset me. So, the good news is there are a lot of Kickstarter projects that I'm very happy to fund, very happy to see come to fruition. And maybe at some point in the future, I'll figure out a way to do more Kickstarter projects on my own, potentially with partners. But the nice thing about not knowing where I'm starting is that we've created a short guide for you. If you are someone who's looking to create your own Kickstarter project, Matt Ryan collected 5 things you might want to do before starting your Kickstarter project. Number 1, form a company if needed. That's important. Like if I were to form a Kickstarter project, I would basically create a new company outside of my existing company. It would be a separate company. And that would be smart because then you've got, your articles all put together. You've got expectations. You've got roles. You've got a completely separate company so that nobody could be disappointed if something goes wrong. That's usually why, you've got to set up the structure before something happens, good or bad, because then at least you know how you're going to deal with it, that you can deal with it. List the things you need. So you might have an idea. I'm going to create an app. Great. Do you have everything you need? No, I don't have any developers. Well, you might need developers. How much are those developers going to cost you? I don't know. $5. Wow. $5 app developer? I've seen a few apps that aren't even worth that. No, getting a list of the things you need could be equally as important. Again, you've got to know what you're putting together before you can present it to everybody else. I want to feel confident that you know exactly what you're doing. If I come to your Kickstarter project and it looks like it's just slapped together, I don't think you can execute. You've never executed on anything like this in your life. Even $5 would be a waste of money if I were to... Oh, wait, no. Oh, you've done this before. Okay. Well, it's a good idea. I'd like to see it come to fruition. Here's my $5 or whatever I might happen to spend on your project because you've listed the things you need. You know what your needs are. You know how much it's going to cost you so you can deliver a good product or service. Set reasonable time expectations and deadlines. You don't want to say, fund my project, and 2 weeks after it's funded, you will have widget X. That could happen, but if you're talking about a physical product, you may never have dealt with manufacturing before, and that could be a challenge and a half. Determine realistic project and rewards goals. So, as you set up different stages, so $5 commitment, $10 commitment, $100, $1,000, $10,000. What can you give? What are people going to be willing to pay for, and what can you give them in return that's not going to take so much out of you? You got to be realistic in the way that you approach things. And, even as I'm reading this list to you, I'm still formulating ideas like, what could I create? What kind of Kickstarter project could I create that you guys could get behind? What would it be? What kind of Kickstarter project could we do? I mean, what kind of Kickstarter project would you like to see me do that I could do, that you could benefit from? Is it making something that doesn't already exist, making something and make it work better than it already does? Is it services? Is it software? What is it? If you're talking about something physical, you got to build a prototype. That's really the last suggestion we want to pass along, and it would be a suggestion for me as well. Putting a video together and saying, "Hey, here's the prototype for my smartphone case that slices, dices, and it smells like pumpkin pie." I don't know what the hell it does. This doesn't smell. I hate pumpkin pie. Blah. Wouldn't be surprised if someone would want to fund that project, but that's not a project that I would necessarily back. The point is, having a working prototype to say, hey, here's probably what it's going to look like. This is what we put together. It's a proof of concept so that we can wrap our minds around it. It's a little more difficult to do if you're talking about high-level concepts like services or conferences or events. That's what's been funded in the past. Media projects like plays and movies or short films. I guess the bottom line is it couldn't hurt to put something out there as long as you've done your homework on it. So if you have any other suggestions for Kickstarter tips that you can pass along, we'd love to put more articles together to help people like yourself who are looking to basically start what would hopefully become a very successful Kickstarter project. Take a look at the list. We've linked it in the video's description below. Kickstart. See here. What else do we have on the list today? You should build your own phone. Oh, yeah, right. How about something that I could do? Yeah, look at that. Zay Frank had raised over $130,000, but he had a very successful podcast before then. That's the thing. You got to be able to have something and be able to deliver on it as well. Like, what am I going to do? It's like, I'll raise $100,000 and I'll do a live YouTube show every day. Chris, you're already doing it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess I am. I would probably... He's got a gigantic fan base. That's the thing. I don't know what I would do, to tell you the truth. I thought about doing, like, something with WordPress, something with apps, something with, services. I don't know what it would be, honestly. Maybe I need to do, maybe I need to do more Kickstarter projects. Nomi's Only Clothing? No, I would never fund a clothing Kickstarter project. It would never happen. Never. It just wouldn't happen. Not gonna happen. Let's see what we got on the list of news. Anything interesting coming out today? Not really. Not seeing anything. Nothing there. Nothing there. Acquisition. Oh, web version of Skype confirmed. Interesting. That's still not interesting enough to talk about. You guys got Nomi's Label Wines? That'd be cool, but I don't think I could do it. I don't know a winery that would do that. It'd be fun. I don't think anybody would kickstart it. I should do a Kickstarter project, like a $2,000 Kickstarter project to say, it was successful! Then I have to figure out what the hell I'm going to do for $2,000. Why are you poking me? This is not Facebook. Oh, by the way, speaking of not Facebook, I had given everybody who is a part of the Nomi circle apparently 1,500 new followers over the weekend. Can you believe that? 1,500 new followers over the weekend. Just for you guys being Nomis and being a part of the Nomi circle. Now, how's that? Chris, I wish I would have joined Nomis before. I know. I tried telling you I'd help, you guys grow. Yeah, but I didn't know you were going to get us 1,500 followers on Google+. That's a lot. I know it's a lot. It's probably more than a lot of you have on Twitter. I know, but if only I joined Nomis before. I can't help it there. I really can't. But I'm very grateful for your support, guys. I really am. Apparently I spammed Scottish Tech Kids emails. Hey, you got new followers. What are you complaining about? Any questions that I might be able to ask? Are there any questions I might be able to ask? Answer in a separate video that we might do today here. A card game. Someone wants me to create a card game. I'm starting a WordPress.com premium domain to work with WordPress, trying for something.com. Interesting. Stop live videos, then get people to pay to get it back. That's funny, Robert Wildman. Google Drive's set to be available next week. Indeed, but I'll wait until it is available before I talk about it. Because until then, it's kind of pie in the sky. Write a rant book. I don't know about that. LockerGnome News app? Dude, I don't know if I'd pay for a LockerGnome News app, and it's my freaking site. A glasses company. Now, why would I do that? I'm reading some of the comments that you guys are leaving there on YouTube. Thank you for commenting there. I don't know about a glasses company. That's a little crazy. Foursquare tops 20 million users. I still don't use it all that often. I really don't. Chris, what will you do for Nomi of the Day? You always ask Diana. How about we make Diana Nomi of the Day? Should we do that? Can we do that? Is that okay? We'll surprise her. Then we'll tell her, oh, you should watch the video. You see Nomi of the Day. You're a good guy. Chris says backdoor check. Well, thank you very much. Discuss your new car, says Secular Spartan. I'm not going to discuss it because I want to show it to you. I want to have like the video review and talking through it. I love the car, though. I love it. Oh, 176 of you watching now. We had about 197 peak. More likes would be appreciated. More shares. Thank you for that. The engagement level is just, I would say, amazing. Look at this. I can't show it to you because I'm kind of tethered. Give me a second. It won't work. I was going to try to... Ooh. I got to be careful. Moving the stuff around. I almost unplugged the video camera there, and that would have caused the live video feed to go tits up. It just would be gone. Let's see here. Chris Pirillo, Hugh Jackman, Tiny... someone made a huge... Thank you, Lord Never. Hang on. Someone made a Hugh Jackman, Chris Pirillo mashup here. Let me do this. I'm loading it right now. Here we go. All right! This is what I'm talking about! I love Interactions Live. Look at that. That is one handsome devil. Can you believe that? I got Hugh Jackman to stop by the studio today. Wow, he did a pretty good job there. Did you add noise to the photo to make it look not doctored? Did you follow the directions that we posted there to LockerGnome.com? Did you? You might want to do that. Check it out. Hugh Jackman, stop by. It's great. See, I'm reading your comments there on YouTube. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Isn't it? I know we look very much alike. Hugh Jackman and I've walked down the street at times in the past, and people went, Hugh? I'm like, no, Chris. It's the peach fuzz that I got going on here. What type of car is it? I got one this time with 4 wheels. 3 just didn't work as well as I thought it would, despite what they said with the marketing. Not enough time for noise. Apparently, Lord never didn't have time to add the noise. Bring the noise. Bring the funk. I'm not funky. I'm checking out. You guys have any comments, questions, smart remarks? I don't know if there's really anything else we can cover right now today. But I suppose we could cap her off. If that's, I don't know if do I have any new applications? I showed you that cool way to pull Windows into the iPad. Well, so many people complained. I'm like, why are you guys complaining? It's great functionality. It's a great feature. I don't really have anything to add. No real apps to speak of on my smartphone or iPad. At least not ones that I'd featured. It's a new Prius. Really? You guys think it's a new Prius? Do you guys really think it? Nomies might know. I may have given them the inside scoop. You never know. Is fast RAM better than a lot of RAM? It depends. But yeah, I would say I'd rather have faster RAM than a lot of it. I mean, imagine having a lot of something slow. Any news on Ivy Bridge? Yes, it's coming. Talk about Bitcoin. I did. Hey, you belong to... I missed that. Chris, what has been your best achievement in life? Marrying Diana. You should kickstart a Nomi's app or something with a built-in chat or whatever, or a LockerGnome one. I don't think anybody would pay for that. Really good developers are expensive. Speaking of, very, very, very expensive. I don't know about that. So maybe I'll do one on that Google Plus thing. I haven't. Profile. Go into my profile page. Go into my profile. Gonna scroll down a little bit. Go into my profile. Gonna scroll down a little bit. Go into my profile. Gonna scroll down just a little bit. All right. We're gonna talk about Google Plus here. Google Plus. Talk about it. Talk about it. Believe it or not, there are millions of people who have at least signed up for Google+, although many people speculate that Google+ is a lot like a graveyard. A whole bunch of bodies, just not a lot of activity. I tend to agree with them because I am on Google+ all the time, probably more on Google+ than I am on Facebook, and I enjoy Facebook, but I enjoy Google+ as well, despite all the shortcomings of their new design rollout. So I thought about it, and I had been thinking about it, why a lot of people are disappointed with Google+. And so on, I think, what was it, yesterday, I had posted a top 10 list of sorts on my Google+ profile, and I included a solution for one of those problems. And here it is. There's the post. I zoomed in a bit. It was shared 1,097 times, plus one by 2,069 people with 500 comments. That's the limitation of comments on Google+. So I did this intentionally. I posted it obviously intentionally, but I wanted people to know that there are more people than just me on Google+. And part of the group that I decided to share, that you can add the circle right there. I promised to help people with their social media engagement. This is the group of people that's all about driving up the amount of people who happen to follow them or want people to follow them. So 10 reasons your Google experience sucks. Sorry, put a finer point on it. Google Plus experience sucks. Number 1, you haven't circled enough people. And all you have to do is click the add circle there on this update to fix it. It's really easy. You can click the add circle and like, oh wow, I got more people than 300 more people now that I'm following who are creating things on Google+. Wide variety of people there in that circle. 2, you're treating Google+ like it's Facebook. Stop it. Knock it off. Don't do that. I mean, you don't treat Facebook like it's Twitter. You don't treat Twitter like it's MySpace. You treat Google+ like it's Google+, because that's exactly what it is. Another reason your Google+ experience sucks, you only spend about 5 minutes a month there. 5 minutes a day? Okay, we're getting you there. We're getting you there. But I don't know who to follow. You can follow me. You can add that circle. There are a lot of people creating really interesting stuff on Google+ alone. This top 10 list, up until the point where I was recording this video, wasn't available anywhere else. It's kind of a Google+ exclusive, telling people why their Google+ experience sucked. Saying this on Twitter would probably have been pointless because it's more than 140 characters. Number 4, you don't engage or comment on threads that are of interest to you. If you like a video, like the video. If you have feedback, give it. We can't hear you when you're screaming at the screen, okay? You have to comment. You have to engage. You have to participate. +1, like, thumbs up, whatever you got to do to let the person who's originally created that or shared it with you know that you liked it. I would say it's a tip to use anywhere. You don't like sharing anything, ever. You may be lurking. Now, granted, a lot of people in this audience probably never comment, probably never like, probably never dislike, probably never share anything that's on their mind, but they enjoy things. I don't know. People don't know. They can't read your mind, okay? It's not called we can read your mind media. It's called social media. You have to be social. It's a two-way street. Another reason your Google Plus experience sucks, you have social media needs that are being met better elsewhere. Now, there's a cogent response, not so flip. The idea that Facebook's giving you everything you need, you wouldn't need to go to Google+. If you've got a blog and you're publishing content there, you don't really need Google+. If you've got a YouTube channel and you're happy with it, you don't necessarily need Google+. But if you're looking to extend your connections, much like you might use Empire Avenue, you could use Google+. And so I think more people who are inclined to use Empire Avenue are inclined to use Google+, because they're constantly looking for new, better ways to connect with others. But if your needs are being met elsewhere, you may not see as big of a value in using Google+, which is more like Blogger than it is like Facebook. And I've said that before. You haven't experimented with a Hangout yet. You ever done a Hangout? Yeah, I could show you how easy it is to do, although I don't want to pull people in and they, oh, I'm being streamed on YouTube Live. I can't handle it. In fact, now, if you get a live Hangout broadcast feature toggled on your Google Plus account, you can stream live on YouTube simultaneously. So if you've always wanted to stream live on YouTube, you might want to start participating on Google Plus to get that feature. That's the only way to get it right now. Just telling you. You might hate animated GIFs. And I would ask, why? How? How could any of you hate animated GIFs like this one? Kevin Staff makes an animated GIF of me every day. Look at that one. I'm hip. Behind. That's me. It's not really me, it's just an animated GIF of me. Oh, you need another example? Fine, let me scroll down, find you another one of my favorites that was posted over the past couple days. I know many of you would probably want to have one of these made of yourself. Here we go. Kevin Staff. You see it? You see it? Yeah. Sad thing is, this video game was not the first video game I ever played. These graphics were amazing compared to the video games that I played when I was growing up. So I'm sharing and resharing all those fun animated GIFs. I'm not annoyed by them. I find that within moderation, they can be enjoyable. I'll tell you the truth. And I know I can't be alone because other people like and reshare those animated GIFs. So another reason your Google Plus experience sucks, you're waiting for a better mobile and desktop user experience. I don't know if Google Plus knows what it wants to be when it grows up yet. And the recent design changes were more, I think, a step backwards than a step forwards. They improved a few things, but they also made a few other things sucky with the design modifications they made. Kind of half and half. I'm still not feeling the design changes recently passed down to us from the Google lords on high. And the mobile experience is okay. It's barely okay. In fact, the mobile web experience is better than the mobile app experience. There's no iPad app. The native application for iOS is kind of okay. The mobile experience for Android is just as okay. It could be a hell of a lot better, that's for sure. And then, of course, fill in the blank. Why? Beyond the list of the 9 that I shared with you, why is your Google Plus experience sucking? Feel free to leave a comment, share. If you +1 this video, it might go on to your Google Plus feed. Feel free to circle me there on Google Plus. Just like, let me see here. Looks like, how many do I have now? 14. No, not 14. Hang on. This is zoomed in, so I cut out everybody's photo because I don't have the permissions. 1,056,808 people have me in their circles. So if you think I'm the only person doing things on Google Plus, you're wrong. Now, if only I could get 1 million people to share the content that we're creating for them, either in this YouTube channel or on LockerGnome.com every day. Will you? There we go. Backlink of the day. Jhdmaxx. It's 2 X's in his last name. I don't know if it's his last name. It's just the end part of his domain there. It's a guess. He linked back to our article about Windows 8 being suitable for desktop environments. And certainly we appreciate the nod. We appreciate those backlinks. When you link back to LockerGnome.com, we may link back to you in the blog post that we post on chris.pirillo.com every day. And the one that goes out in the LockerGnome email newsletter, which I'm assuming you've subscribed to. Diana tells me now she is headed home. Doesn't help because I was able to do this without her. If she asks, just say it was very difficult for me to get through this hour without her, which is true. She's there for moral support, and then if I say something, sometimes she just... And then I know whatever I said was wrong, which is invariably every 5 minutes or so. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your engagement, your support, your gestures, really. When you +1, when you share, when you like, when you subscribe, when you do these things, it means a lot to content producers, whether it's me or anybody else out there who happens to be producing content. We appreciate the likes. Every one of us, every single one of us. I can't say that anybody's ever been disappointed with that. In fact, the only thing I'd say I'm disappointed in right now is that more people don't know about the stuff that we're doing today. So the way to fix that is tell someone else. There's your challenge for today. Tell someone else about something we did today. A video, an article, linked on LockerGnome.com, something in between, both. Don't feel limited to just one person. I told one person. You can tell 2. It's okay. I'm not going to hold you back. Just saying. Talk to the hand. Because the mouth is about to disappear. If you want to tune in to the live video feed that's streaming my home office, you can. Although if you pulled it up right now, it would be a black screen because I had a lens cap on this morning. Can't tell you why. I need to remove it. But when I do remove it, you'll be able to tune in and see something, me sitting here at my desk, and potentially even overhear people talking, geeking out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right now at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.